Hi, my name is Professor Hertag. Welcome to this instructional video. And to begin, we're going to start setting up your movie magic scheduling. To start with this exercise, it is important that you already have installed in your computer Movie Magic Scheduling. So the next step will be to click on the icon of Movie Magic Scheduling once, and immediately after that, we're going to click at the top left on the menu where it says File, and we're going to click where it says New Schedule from Template. Again, you're going to click on File, and immediately after that, you're going to see this window where you are going to click on the first option where it says New Schedule from Template. So, in order to use Movie Magic Scheduling, you need to find the default template. The best way to find the default template is to first of all find the data folder. If you are unable to find the default template in your computer, you're going to now follow the next steps. In order to locate the default template in your computer, all you need to do is click at the top right of your screen on the search menu bar. I click there once and I'm gonna type the following words: MM in capital letter, data, space, folder. And what we're looking for now is a folder name data. And as you can see, it's my second folder on the list. Immediately after I found the data folder, I'm going to now find the one named scheduling. I'm going to click there once, and after I click on the folder name scheduling, all I need to do is now click on templates, and this is where I'm going to find the default template in my computer. Once you find the default template, all you need to do is click on it once. Once we locate the default template, we're going to go back to File, and now we're going to click again on New Schedule from Template. We're going to click where it says Default Template, and we're going to click at the bottom right of this window where it says Open. Okay, so now we have opened our breakdown sheet inside Movie Magic Scheduling. The next step will be to import our script. The script must be saved as a SEX file. Remember, you won't be able to import any other type of document. So please do not try to import PDF files, Word documents, because you're not going to be able to import those type of files into Movie Magic Scheduling. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is we're going to go back to File at the top left on the menu. And now this time we're going to click where it says Import. Once you hit or click where it says Import, you're going to have this pop-up window under the name of Import. And all it's asking you is you want to import the next document. You're going to say yes. So we're going to click on the memory garden script, File, Saved as an SEX file. Click there once, and then at the bottom right where it says Open, you're going to click right there. Notice right now immediately that there is no information showing as of right now inside the breakdown sheet. And the reason why is because we need to do an important step before we can see some of the information imported into the breakdown sheet using Movie Magic Scheduling. We need to go ahead and click on the Delete Sheet on the submenu using Movie Magic Scheduling. This function is the fourth one from left to right at the top left of the screen. So we're going to click there once. Even if you place the mouse on top of it, you're going to see the name of the actual function. So let's go ahead and click there once. It's going to give you this pop-up window warning message asking you, are you sure you want to delete the sheet? You're going to click OK. Now notice the difference now. Before, we didn't have any information at all under all of these sections. Now you do. Right after that, it is important that we change the navigation style. The navigation style is right here in the center top of the breakdown sheet, and right now it's under active board. But from active board, we're going to go ahead and click where it says scenes. Once we change the navigation style to scenes, we're now going to save real quick this project. To do that, we're going to go ahead and click at the top left on the menu where it says File. On this window, we're going to click where it says Save As. You're going to have this window, small window popping up, and you're going to click OK. And now we're going to go ahead and add our last name. In this case, my last name is Hertag. I'm going to add also the first name. My first name is Christian. And then I'm going to add the word schedule. Remember to use the underscore in between last name, first name, and the first word under the name of this assignment, which is the schedule. And then you choose the place exactly where you want to save this assignment. In this case, I'm going to save this file on the desktop. So as you can see, some of these sections are already completed. We have our sheet number, we have our scene number, we have the information here about the slug line. In this case, our scene 1 is completely made in exteriors, and on the set we have front of house. Now here where it says day and night, we need to choose whether we're gonna have this scene during the day, night, morning, or evening. Okay, so here we're going to choose the information that we have in our script. Okay, so remember that based on the story, Jonathan receives the letter during the daytime. So I'm gonna click where it says day. Under pages number, remember that we are going to measure this in eighths. This is exactly the place where you're gonna include the number for the eighths of a page per scene. As you guys remember, on scene 1 of the Memory Garden script, we have 5/8. Therefore, if we have 5/8, those are only a few seconds. We're gonna go ahead and leave the 0 on the first section, and we're gonna click where it says tab on our keyboard. And we're gonna replace that number 1 for a 5. On synopsis, we're gonna go ahead and add a brief description of what's happening on scene 1. On scene 1, our main character, Jonathan, receives a letter. So I already have the information available for you guys. So remember, under synopsis, we need to have a maximum of 5 up to 6 different words to describe what's happening on that scene. Immediately after the synopsis, we're gonna go ahead and complete the script pages. Scene 1 is only mentioned on page 1. Therefore, we're gonna add a number 1 under script pages. From script pages, we're gonna go ahead and jump into estimated time. Now remember, the first section or the first blank space is for hours. The second blank space under estimated time is for the minutes. I start off by explaining to students that it is important to start off any scene by 1 hour, because most likely with all of the takes that you might do for each scene, the minimum time will be 1 hour. So on scene 1, I'm gonna add on the hours section, I'm gonna add the number 1, and on the minutes section, which is the next one right next to it, I'm gonna add 00. That means that this scene most likely will be recorded in about 1 hour. Even though the scene is just a few seconds, remember, if you have to do multiple takes, you might need to have at least 1 hour to shoot scene 1. So we already finished the top part of this assignment. Now we're gonna go ahead and go to the elements. And what you need to do is start clicking on each of these categories and start adding the information. For example, on the elements, we already have the cast members, Jonathan and the mailman. However, we'll still need a few elements or resources that we must provide on this section of the exercise. Therefore, under vehicles, I'm going to go ahead and add the mail truck. Remember, the mail truck for the mailman. And then after I type in all of the information, I'm going to click enter. I'm going to have this pop-up window where it says unknown element name, and you're going to click yes. Okay, so now we have the mail truck. And what are you going to do is you're going to start adding up all of these elements one by one until you finish with scene 1. You're going to follow this process for each of the scenes of the memory garden script. Now I'm going to give you a couple of minutes for you to complete the remaining information that is left in blank in all of the remaining scenes. Immediately after that, we're going to start working in our schedule. Once you finish adding all of the detailed information instructed in class on the breakdown sheet, we're going to now click where it says on schedule. On schedule is the orange strip across the breakdown sheet. So we can go ahead and see what we have so far in our boneyard window. As soon as you click where it says unscheduled, you're going to see all of the information that we have from scene 1 all the way through scene 5 from the memory garden script. It is important to remember that we need to select all of these strips and move all of this information into our stripboard window. Remember, the boneyard, it is just a preview window. It is basically used to left out scenes that you no longer need, or it is also used to leave information that you no longer need. So for now, what we need to do is select all of the information that we have placed on the boneyard, all of the scenes. Make sure that you don't have any duplicates of the scenes numbers, and go ahead and select with the mouse all of the information placed on the preview window or the boneyard window. Immediately after this, we're going to click at the top menu using Movie Magic Scheduling, and we're going to open the stripboard window. When we open the stripboard window, we can see that it's completely in blank. The purpose of the boneyard, as I mentioned earlier, is just to have a preview of the information, but that information is not going to stay there. Therefore, we're now going to drag all of the selected strips and drop it into the stripboard window. I'm just dragging everything and placing everything on the back. As you can see, our boneyard is completely empty, and we're going to close that window immediately. We're going to also minimize on the yellow button on the middle on the breakdown sheet. We're going to go ahead and minimize that. And now we have our stripboard window with all of the information that we need to build our schedule. In order to build a schedule, we're going to use mainly these first two buttons at the top menu. Okay, we're going to use, if you place the mouse on top, you're going to see the name. You're going to use the insert date break, and I'm going to show you what is the purpose of that specific function. And you're going to use a lot of banners. Okay, so one of the first things that I do when I build a schedule is to add the title of that specific production. And in order to do that, we're going to click on the T, and we're going to add the name of our production. Okay, so because this is just an informative banner, we don't need to add an estimated time because it's just a title that is going to inform all of us the name of that specific production, the Memory Garden shooting schedule. And if you want just to make it different from the other categories, you can definitely increase the size right here. I'm going to use it 25, okay? And then you can also change the color as well as the type of font. So I'm gonna leave it in Arial, but I'm just gonna make it bigger so people understand that that's the name of the actual production. And then click OK. Okay, every time that you want to add a banner, you need to click on one of the strips. So now that we have the title of our schedule, the Memory Garden shooting schedule, we're now going to proceed to add the production day. So we're going to start with production day 1. So choosing the second strip allows me to go ahead and add another banner. So we're going to add production day 1. I'm going to select a color just to make it clear that if I choose that color, people know that that's my starting point for that specific day. So I'm just going to choose, let's choose pink, and I'm going to click OK. Okay, and now also I'm going to increase a little bit the size, and let me see how it looks. So as you can see, what I'm going to do from now on my schedule is I'm going to be consistent with the color and the size. So we already created the title of this schedule and the title for our production day 1. And beginning on this precise moment, all you need to do is repeat the process over and over again. The information is going to change. Also, the time is going to change, but the process is going to be the same one. So what I do from this point and on is just use the banner here at the top left, and before I add a banner, I have to select one of the strips on my breakdown, on my strip board, I'm sorry. So I'm going to click on the T, and from this point and on, I'm just going to add the different categories that we already discussed. And it is up to you to organize your schedule the best way you understand that is better for you and your cast and crew members. Okay, so I'm going to start adding the equipment setup, and also on this category, I just want to add we're gonna have some breakfast at the same time, so that way you kill two birds with the same stone, right? So equipment setup and breakfast. So what is the starting time that you're gonna ask everybody to show up for this specific assignment, right? They need to be on the set at 8 a.m. all the way to, let's say, 2 hours, from 8 all the way to 10 a.m., right? So that way everybody, can have some breakfast while other people are working in setting up all the cameras on the location, right? So this is gonna be, and we're gonna start working using the time zone on each category. So we're gonna use, for the purpose of this example, the Pacific Standard Time. And I usually use those in capital letters, okay? So equipment setup and breakfast from 8 a.m. all the way through 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. To add the amount of hours, you're gonna go to the second row and you're gonna add on the first space the amount of hours, and then I'm gonna click on my keyboard the key command that says tab to move to the next space, and I'm gonna add 2 zeros because on this specific space you're gonna add the minutes. Okay, sounds good. So I'm gonna leave. I'm not gonna touch the font or the size of the font. I'm gonna keep being consistent so that way I know that all the categories are gonna stay the same. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna click where it says OK, and immediately the system add on my project this category. One last thing, right after you finished each production day, make sure that you add the estimated time for each production day. So how can you do that? Very easy. What you're gonna do is you're gonna click at the bottom of your last strip on your day of production, and then you're gonna click at the top left of your sub menu where it says insert day break. You're gonna click there once, and immediately after that, notice that the system added for you the estimated time for your production day one based on the information that he calculated. Okay, so if you do not place the estimated time during the meal breaks, or for example, for rehearsal or blocking time, if you don't add the estimated time in those categories, or equipment setup or wrap up, you're not going to have the proper information at the bottom under the end of shooting day. So it is important that you add an estimated time in all of these categories, and finally add the end of shooting day bar, so you know how many hours and how long you're gonna stay each day of production on the film set. So I want you to start organizing your production day the way you understand, because remember, you're gonna act as the director and the producer of this short film. So eventually you're gonna have to do the same thing for your own projects. And this is the starting point where you're going to learn how to do this the correct way. Hope this was helpful. I look forward to reading all of your assignments. See you next time.